Welcome to another day in my life at the request of my sweet friend Lori, who does these daily vlogs all the time. I am going to try to do them a little bit more regularly, and today's a Sunday, so check out a day in my life. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lizabeth, and I am living in the light by documenting my previous 160-pound weight loss and now my maintenance of that loss just by doing some healthy living, making healthy choices every day, and sharing those choices with you so that hopefully I can encourage you on your journey to become a healthier person. If you're looking for great videos, if you're looking for great recipes and ideas, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate that. Also, please give me a thumbs up. That really does help me and helps my channel when I get likes on my videos. And if you have questions about the process that I went through or what I'm doing now or anything that I happen to do today, please let me know in the comments box down below. I'd love to help you out. I always start out the day with plain black coffee. I've always been a black coffee drinker. On Sunday, I go to Sunday school and church, and that means I'm not home during my the normal time that I have oatmeal as a fueling, and I really like oatmeal as fueling. So what I do is sometimes I flip-flop my first and second fueling on Sundays, and I'll do oatmeal as my first fueling, and then I'll do yogurt or something else as my second fueling. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my oatmeal, but I have now cut back to 1/3 of a cup, and that's just to cut my calories back to 100 calories for the oats. And then the blueberries that I add is usually around another 50 calories, so that gets me at about 150 calories, but more about that later. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I make my oatmeal. I just have a 1/3 cup measure. I just take 1/3 of a cup, dump it in here, and then I'm gonna add the boiling water, not completely full. I would say probably 2/3 to 3/4 full. And this is a thermal flask food jar. I got it on Amazon. And I used it a lot for like my potato soup and my oatmeal when I was having fuelings. And now I use it for oatmeal. I use this one for oatmeal every morning. And I just seal it up and make sure that it's gonna sit for a couple of hours. I'm not exactly sure how long it needs to sit, but every once in a while I will walk by it and give it a little shake. I also don't add salt to it until I go to eat it. I read that helps the oatmeal to be creamier if you leave the salt out until you actually eat it. So that's what I would advise you doing that, just letting it sit. And I'm gonna go have my coffee and we'll chat in a bit. I'm about to go and take a shower, but I'm going to have my second cup of coffee, give my oats a little shimmy shake. When I have my second cup, I always mix in the collagen peptides. I'm gonna put a link in the description box down below. It is a link to these on Thrive Market. If you do not already have a Thrive Market membership, it is well worth it. I use it for a lot of things. For my supplements, I buy spices and gluten-free items and all kinds of stuff there. But if you don't already have a membership and you use my link, you can get 40% off your first order, which is pretty awesome. So who doesn't want 40% off? That's almost half price. So what I do is I just put just a little bit of coffee in the bottom of my cup. And then I add a scoop of the collagen peptides, take my little frother, give it a little shimmy shake, and then just fill my cup up with coffee, and I am good to go for cup number 2. And I'll be back in just a bit, a much cleaner woman, to have my very first fueling. So as I've said this before, I don't eat within an hour of waking up anymore. I push this off until 7 just because it works best for my day. I don't do anything when I get up in the morning. I basically sit on the couch and answer emails and grade papers and watch the news, and I'm completely inactive. So I'm not really burning a lot of calories. So, but when I was on 5 and 1, I did eat within an hour of getting up, more or less. So make sure if you are still on 5 and 1 that you are sticking to the program as much as you possibly can. Remember, I'm in maintenance, so I am doing things that you would not do if you were in the weight loss portion. And I've got lots of videos and help for people who are actually in the 5 and 1. As I was taking my shower, I realized I didn't take my probiotic. That's usually the very first thing that I do in the morning, is have an 8-ounce glass of water and my probiotic. Just to FYI, I use seed, which I buy online. I'll put a link in the description box down below. I'm working at becoming I don't know what they call a partner or an ambassador. Basically, I have to go through their seed university and pass an exam. And so we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned for that new little venture. I don't know what it does for me other than give me information so that I can share it with you. But I've been taking this for a little over a month, and I like it. I'm assuming that it's doing good things for me. And so I guess time will tell on that. So I'm gonna take this, give my oatmeal a little shimmy shake. It will be time to have that in probably about 30 minutes or so. Yeah, just about, or maybe 20 minutes. So I'll be right back. You wanted a day in the life. Before I go to Sunday school this morning, I'm going to roll out a few gingerbread cookies. We are going to be doing a gingerbread cookie decorating contest for Christmas Eve with my family. And so I'm baking the cookies today. I'm doing some gingerbread cookies. I'm also doing some sugar cookies, so you'll see those later today. I'll probably bake those off this afternoon. Then I'll just put them in containers and freeze them, and then we'll have those. So I'm gonna let you probably do this as a time lapse. I'm gonna give that one a try and just record making the cookies. This is actually like a whole, what you just saw was the whole thing of gingerbread. I used the Sally's Baking Edition gingerbread cookie recipe, so it's on my own. So these are going to cool for a few minutes on the sheet pan, then I'll put them on the trays and let them cool the rest of the way. I've got the last 2 trays in the oven. I am going to have my very first fueling, and the way that I do this is I get this on grams. I will weigh out 100 grams of blueberries. Just bought these from Costco. I love their berries. So I'm gonna weigh out 100 grams. That's 100 grams exactly. And I've got my oatmeal, and I'm going to just dump my oatmeal on top of my berries. I'm gonna go and wash the berries, but I wanted to weigh them out first. So I'm gonna wash them, throw them back in the bowl, and then I'm gonna dump the oatmeal on top. As you saw in my last video, sometimes I will put some maple syrup on here. I use 100% pure maple syrup. I can't stand fake syrups or sugars or anything. So if I'm going to use something to sweeten, I will only use maple syrup, honey, or agave, or real sugar, which would be very rare. But I'm going to just leave it today. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the berries and the oats and get ready to I'm going to prepare my second fueling momentarily after I eat this, and I'll show you that because I'm going to take that with me to church. I'm going to take my snack, my fueling, whatever you want to call it, to church with me. And so what I'm going to do, this is an easy thing to eat kind of on the fly in between Sunday school and church. Sometimes I eat it during Sunday school. Depends on what time I actually eat my first fueling, but I think I will probably get this in between the two today. And I am not an apple skin girl. I don't like apple skins. So don't be aghast at that, but I just don't like it. It just takes too long to chew. So I get rid of it. And I am just going to cut up some apple slices here, or get my apples. These are Honeycrisp apples that I got from Costco. I love the fruit from Costco. They're strawberries, they're blueberries, they're unbelievable. And I got out a lemon to squeeze on here, and I left it on the other counter. So I'm gonna grab that in just a second, just so that my apple slices don't turn brown. I'm gonna get in as many as I can here. So if I squeeze this lemon juice on here, and then just give the apple slices a little bit of a toss in the lemon juice. I think what I'm gonna do is put the lid on it and give it a little shake. There's not a whole lot of room left in here, but it should get lemon juice kind of around in here. And then what I'm gonna do is just drizzle on here a tablespoon of the Costco almond butter. I'm just gonna drizzle that over. And that's gonna give me some protein and fat, along with the carbohydrates from the apples. And hopefully it won't be too messy to eat. But I can just seal this up and throw it in my purse, and it will be good to go for my second snack. And then I will be back here just in time to make my third fueling, which is a little bit more of a lunch fueling. And we're gonna run an errand, and then I'm gonna bake some more cookies. I made it home from church. I am going to make, this is my favorite lunch currently. It is so good. I'm starting with some baby arugula. And I do about 40 grams of arugula. And it's a lot. Arugula is really light. It is 40 grams. And then I always peel cucumbers as well. I gotta grab a knife. So I'm gonna peel these. I'll clean up my mess later. And I kind of stick with the vegetables because I use the Prosper and it doesn't, like, I'm not having to just necessarily do like when you're on 5 and 1, you know, a half a cup or whatever. I just go by calories and weight. So I am doing 100 grams of cucumber. So I'm just gonna slice this up. It'll be most of this cucumber probably. It's quite a bit. But this is a very filling lunch. Lots of great vegetables here. It's actually not even gonna be, this one cucumber is not even gonna be 100 grams. So what I will do is I will remember this is 83 grams. So when I enter this in, I'll just change the grams to 83. And then I'm gonna do about 100 grams of cherry tomatoes, maybe. I don't even know if I'm gonna do that many. I might. Oops. That's 92, 98, 102, we'll call it good. I've already measured out 4 ounces of grilled chicken that I did, and then I just packaged it up. And then my homemade vinaigrette, I'm gonna put on a tablespoon of vinaigrette, and this is going to be my lunch. I will put in the macros for this here so that you can see how much this is, but this is a very filling lunch and very delicious. I'm gonna eat this and then we're gonna go hit the town and run an errand. The funny thing about vlogs is you actually have to record things, and I'm working on it. Your girl's new at this. So I've already gone to the store and come back. I didn't really find what I wanted anyway, so it's no big deal. And I've already baked the sugar cookies, so I'll show you those when I make my next fueling, which is gonna be right here. So here's the start of my cookies. It's just the first 2 pans. I did some little men, which you can actually turn upside down and make into reindeer, and some Christmas trees and some thumbprints. The thumbprints are literally gonna be filled and taken to Taylor this week because I know she will love a good thumbprint cookie. Let me show you my fueling. I'm gonna do some cottage cheese and pineapple, and I'm gonna do 4 ounces of cottage cheese. And not a whole lot left in here. And then one of these little pineapple packs, this is 100% juice. They're just pineapple tidbits in 100% juice, and they're only 60 calories for this. The cottage cheese for 4 ounces is 90 calories. So I'm 150 calories between the cottage cheese and the pineapple. Perfect fueling with some carbohydrates, some fat, and some protein. I get the 1% cottage cheese. And so that's what I'm gonna have for this fueling. I'm gonna finish baking cookies, watch some Christmas movies, and I'll see you back here for my lean and green. You'd think it's Friday. That's your hint. It's time for my last, well, not for my last fueling, but kind of like my lean and green. I'm gonna do a cauliflower crust pizza. Now, when I was on the 5-in-1, I made my cauliflower crust with just cauliflower and egg beaters. Now I've added a couple of tablespoons of mozzarella cheese to it. So there is, that recipe is also on with my other crust. You just would have to deduct that from your lean. Since I'm on maintenance, I'm not really counting leans and greens. So I did this crust, it's just a little sturdier than the other one. I'm using 2 tablespoons of my marinara, which I use as a pizza sauce. If you're on 5-in-1, 2 tablespoons of that sauce counts as a condiment. I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees. You can do up to 450. A hotter oven is gonna cook the pizza faster, and I like the way that it comes out better. So that, I've got 2 ounces of low moisture, part skim mozzarella. This is the finely shredded, so it kind of covers a little bit more territory than just the regular shredded kind. Since I am on maintenance, I'm gonna use some mini turkey pepperonis. I don't do this very often. A lot of times, most of the time, I just do ground turkey or plain ground pork. But I had this for my husband, and I thought I would use some before it's time to throw it out, just as a little treat. I'm trying to teach myself that it's okay to have a little treat once in a while that doesn't have to be 100% 5-in-1, since I'm not on 5-in-1 anymore. I have 50 grams of sliced mushrooms. These are already cooked. I will buy a big box of mushrooms and pre-cook the whole thing, and then freeze it in smaller portions. I also decided I was going to do a little bit of black and green olives. So I sliced some black and green olives up. This is one of my favorite pizzas. And then 2 tablespoons of the reduced fat Parmesan cheese. So I'm going to sprinkle that on top. I'm going to toss this in the oven for, probably about 10 minutes is probably all that it's going to take. And then I will come back and show you what it looks like. You know, this doesn't look like a whole lot of food, but trust me, this is extremely filling. My pizza's finished. I am gonna put just a little sprinkle of red pepper flakes on here. Not a lot, just a little pinch. And then go ahead and slide this onto my plate. And I don't want to touch this pan because it's super hot. But this is going to be a very delicious lean and green evening meal. It is, I'll put the macros up, but I think that when I figured it out, it was under 400 calories. But I will put that on the screen here so you can see the calories, the protein, the fat, and the carbs. And then I have one more to eat for the end of the day. And so I will show that to you shortly. And then I will give you my macros for the entire day. So hopefully, if you have never made a cauliflower crust pizza, like seriously, these crusts are so easy to make. I made a bunch of them last Tuesday. I did some as taco shells, and then the rest I did as pizza crusts, and I just let them cool. It takes about 20 minutes for them to cool off. Stack them up, slide them in a Ziploc freezer bag, throw them in the freezer, and when you get ready for one, they pop apart really quickly. You don't have to put anything in between them. Let them thaw for about 20 minutes, and then top them, bake them, and they are absolutely delicious. I don't miss regular pizza dough at all. I'm very happy to eat the cauliflower crust. So I'll see you back in a bit. I spent the day after with some cookie baking, and I made pizza, and I watched Christmas movies on TV and just had a chill afternoon, evening. So I am going to take it easy on myself, and I'm going to do something I don't do very often, and that's have a prepared bar. I don't do these very often, but these Bear Bells is the brand. I get them at Trader Joe's. You can buy them on Amazon. You probably can find them other places too, but this one is a cookies and cream. They have several different flavors. They're all right around 200 calories, 180 to 220. The Optavia bars that you get are 180 to 200 calories, I think. So it's very similar. This actually is very similar in macros, but they taste so much better than the Optavia bars. Like, no shade on the maintenance bars that they have, the chocolate. There's a dark chocolate one and there's a strawberry one, and they're okay. They're decent, they work, but these are amazing. So I'm gonna have the cookies and cream one tonight. This is a protein bar that does not taste like a protein bar. 200 calories, as I said, 7 grams of fat, 20 grams of protein, and 20 grams of carbs. Really good. They taste just like a candy bar. I mean, it's crazy how good they are. Like I said, I don't do them very often. Maybe once a week I'll have one. Most of the time I end up doing something that I make myself, and I'll show more of those in the days to come. But I'm gonna try to get better at doing vlogging, just to share more of the things that I do throughout a day, and get some recipes made as well for you. So leave me some comments in the comments box down below. What lean and greens would you like to see me make that I haven't already made? I'd love to know that. And if there are some things that you particularly need, have questions about, or you're wondering about, please feel free to leave those in the comments box down below. And until I see you next time, live in the light.